The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
What the? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see myself. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or?
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
Lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Right, cool. Thank you. Shit. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Korner Booth pregame. I am your host, Jerry Clem, alongside this handsome devil right here, TikTok sensation, Matt Ordazzo. Looking spiffy in that Jets green, buddy. Let's pray for a win this weekend. Huh?
It's a big game, and Geno Smith has completed his revenge tour, and I hope that he does not make it 3-0 against us. He's beaten the Chargers and the Giants, but it's not happening this Sunday.
Listen, I love Geno. I really do. He's my backup quarterback in fantasy, but now that my starter is, he's back. Throwing practice this week officially. Multiple sources confirmed he was slinging the rock around practice in full run through. So I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm feeling better. I got my championship game this week in the second week of my 2-week championship. I'm feeling great. Sleeper gave me my password back after I got a new phone and they booted me. So you know what? We're feeling good here. Also joining us, ladies and gents, I would say the Bert and Ernie of Belly Up Sports. This man is literally a human hybrid of C-3PO, Daniel Jeremiah, and Jonathan Gannon. One of the smartest people I know. Do not let that fool you. This dude has the mouth like a goddamn viper, ladies and gentlemen. Host of High Low Sports, DJ.
The intros get better and better every time. I don't even have a follow-up. There's nothing I could say that would top that, so I'm just going to smile and nod and have like a moment to live in that really quickly.
It's okay. I gotta come up with a good one for Ernie when he comes back on. I just do too many collaborative shows with him because I just did our football show. By the way, shout out to our boy Josh Mayer for hosting the football show. It was great talking with Jake Crane and Marquise Ogden. Both were great guests. It was good seeing all the boys. Both Kevins actually, Wilson and Tailgate in the Quad Kev, plus Kelsey, Captain Lou. It was a great collaborative show. I had a blast co-hosting with Josh. Shout out to him. And our other guest off of his hiatus, finally back. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is a golf enthusiast, a Patriots sufferer, and probably one of the best dads you'll ever meet. He does cop my beard style, but at least he tries to make it work for him. Ladies and gentlemen, host of Pivots and Pivots podcast, and one of the coolest dudes you'll ever meet. And like my proxy big brother here at Belly Up Sports, Andrew LeDuc.
What's up? You almost made me cry there with one of the greatest dads you'll ever meet. That goes deep with me, man.
You know, like the thing is, I always try to make you feel a little better about yourself. The thing is with me,
are you implying that I need to be made to feel better about myself?
It's luring you a little sugar and then hitting you with a right hook cross or something like that. That's how you make it work.
Okay.
And Beth's in the house as always. What's up, Beth? All right, gentlemen, we got a crazy show today. We got 8 games to pick because we have, of course, the college football playoff this week. So we'll start off with that. We'll pick games in a little while for the 6-pack, but I want to get you all opinions about bowl season so far. And does it kind of my opinion is that I'll state it now. I kind of feel like bowl season has kind of been anticlimactic until now. Like it's been kind of lame. There's been no like games. I'm like, oh my god, this is a must-watch game. If for anybody who's a craft brew, part of the craft brew group, you understand. Yes, Rob, it might be Matt Bar's evil brother. I've only seen Matt Barr once in person. I was when he was on Craft Brew a couple years ago, but I don't know. Leduc looks like a lot of people. I think that's the kind of.
Well, that was aimed at me. I didn't even know that.
No, it's not. It's not aimed at me. I don't look like anybody except for fat Chris Pratt, according to my old coworkers.
So I was just talking about this with someone last night. When I used to shave my head, and I kept my beard tighter to my face, I got Mac Miller a ton. I never fully
can see it.
People used to always say I looked like when the beard was shorter and my hair was tighter. I got Mac Miller a lot. I had to kick someone out of a hotel at a previous job, and they tried to get out of me kicking them out by trying to flatter me with, "Anyone ever tell you look like Mac Miller?" And I said, "Yeah, get the fuck out."
It's all right. You to say that to me was like talking crap to me because I was telling him he had to go carry a dresser up the stairs. He goes, "F you, fat Chris Pratt."
Jeez.
I mean, listen, I was like, this was back when I was like 290 pounds too, so it kind of worked.
That's fine.
Also, the beard was a lot shorter. But I don't know. I with this anticlimactic bowl games, right? Like the only one that I actually paid attention to and it ended up pissing me the fuck off was I watched the Las Vegas Bowl for about 45 minutes, and then I just realized Florida was was more dead, the Florida Gators or any Gators that swam up north into the ice. Like it was awful. Like this was maybe the worst college game I've ever seen. I've never seen a team quit that hard on an interim head coach. But then I had to watch Air Force get their head kicked in by Baylor when it was negative like 4 degrees in Texas. So that just destroyed my freaking I destroyed my parlay last week. So I've learned my lesson. Instead of not betting on any college games, I added 5 to the freaking 6-pack this week. Or 4, and it's an 8-pack. I can't count apparently. I just kept adding good games that I liked. Also, because I saw Carson Wentz versus Deshaun Watson, and my eyeballs like lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like, "Oh, the chaos of this game is going to be amazing."
Oh man, that didn't make any sense because like we all saw where the Commanders got with Carson Wentz, and the only reason why they're in the spot that they're in right now is because of Taylor Heineke. So the bright idea is let's bench the guy that got us to this spot.
I'm actually going to defend Ron Rivera for a second.
Thanks, Robert.
Shout out to Big Bad Rob Taylor. Oh, Jesus Christ. Duck, let me do the comments.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ. Between you and fucking Kelsey, I swear to God. All right. I will say this about, I know we're bouncing around like crazy, but let's go back to college quick and then we'll talk about the Wentz thing because I actually have a point about that. I love all these games this weekend. I love every single one of them. I think the only bad one is going to be Purdue's going to get their head kicked in. I think Kansas State will as well. As much as Kevin wants to play all coy and be like, "Oh, we might lose to Kansas State. Deuce Vaughn's going to go crazy." Like, Kevin, the biggest guy in K-State is maybe the biggest lineman in K-State is maybe at 310 pounds. They're not corn-fed hogs, man. That's the passing league. The Big 12 doesn't count as an actual football league. It's a 7-on-7 league with fat guys standing in the middle of the field. So
my buddy Drew in the comments is already coming at me. It's only been 8 minutes.
I mean, listen, Drew, we'll talk about the Pats in about, I'd say 30 minutes. And that's all it's going to take for them to be eliminated next week.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I think Bill literally flew the coop. I think his brain's gone. I think this dude has let his success take over so much that Belichick literally thinks he is like a super genius, right? So I wholeheartedly think that, I keep going NFL talk. Let's finish fucking college. All right. No, fuck it. We'll talk about it during 6-pack because we have so much time today. All right, let's talk NFL. First off, let's talk Carson Wentz. I actually want to defend Ron Rivera here because as much as I have an axe around Taylor Heineke and Washington get benched right as they're in a shot of the playoffs after the little weenie was celebrating like he won the Super Bowl after he upset the Eagles. That's just poetic justice to me. I love watching him suffer. 2, listen, give kamikaze commander Carson Wentz one more shot at this, okay? This man literally I've seen him throw balls behind defenders' backs into a running back on the back end of the field. I've seen him fit the ball into a window this big on the run. The problem with the Commanders is they can't score points. There's no deep threat ability. The only time they threw a bunch of deep balls was when Philadelphia's defense fell asleep back in week 11, I think, or 10. I don't even know what fucking it was. I think it was week 10. Either way, I haven't seen explosive offense out of Washington. They beat teams like 19-8, 18-9, 17-10, 20-6. It's like, God damn, it's like watching old school Alabama back when Greg McElroy was the quarterback. The thing is,
legend.
the defenses woke up. Chase Young is back. They're playing a lot better team football. Why not put in the quarterback who led the league in touchdown passes for the first 5 weeks of the season? As much as Wentz is a freaking basket case in the locker room, just have Chase Young walk up to him and go, listen, little man, sit the fuck down, shut up, throw the football. Like, that's all it has to be. And I hate giving advice to the Commanders because I love to watch them crash and burn every year. It makes me feel better that I don't root for a horrible class franchise. But I think Wentz honestly may give them a better chance to compete if they do make the playoffs because Wentz can't hit that. Holy fuck, how do you throw that throw? Where Heineke, it's like he's just a more mobile, edgier Luke McCown or Josh McCown, whatever the one who's played for like 30 teams.
Josh.
I mean, neither of them.
Who's going to be the next coach of the Texans?
Neither of them are the answers for the Commanders long term. I just see a big difference in the sense of respect from the team and how hard like they play for quarterbacks when you have Heineke in rather than Carson Wentz. I think, I don't know, I would have kept Heineke in. It's what they're going to do. We're going to see if it works out in their favor. Either way, I expect both of these guys to pretty much probably not just be employed by the Commanders next year. Maybe Heineke comes back, but I don't know. I expect the Commanders to probably go out and do what they usually do, which is just get a veteran quarterback. I mean, we all forget they drafted Sam Howell. I'm not saying Sam Howell's going to be anything amazing, but I don't know why they're not even trying to see what this guy's got. But I expect them to probably try and throw the bag at Derek Carr because all the Commanders know is locking up mid-level average quarterbacks at its finest.
If they're going
Carr to the Commanders, I think Carr to the Commanders is a real one. Rob, I do like that, but my biggest thing is I think Carr will go to the Jets if they can't get Lamar. Because I think Bob Saleh looks at that. If they can't get Garoppolo, I think they take Carr over Garoppolo. I would.
I would, yeah.
I like Carr's arm talent better.
I think he's healthier than Garoppolo. Garoppolo, I think, has more of a winning.
I'm healthier than Garoppolo, and I haven't had my cholesterol
Me
checked.
too. I'm going to. I have my first PT appointment next week. Oh shit! The Matt's ladies chiming in here. Ruthless. Yeah, we love you, B.
If you're going off of who's going to win you the most games, I think Garoppolo has more of a winning pass than Carr. Whenever Garoppolo's healthy, he wins games.
Sanders by 30 yards on a gimme.
Well, that's the other thing too is that you look at Carr. Carr has more accuracy, and Carr is healthier. So I would take Carr over Garoppolo. My thing would be my wish list would be go and get Lamar. Whatever you got to do. That can't work out, then I'd go bring Carr in. And I think Carr would be a good quarterback for the Jets for at least 2 seasons, at least minimum 2, maybe 3 years. But in that meantime, I'm also drafting a quarterback and sitting. Jimmy G has a ring because of Tom.
Guys, you have comments with the porn account showed up.
Jimmy G was on the bench jumping for joy. Yeah, he didn't win in San Francisco when they went there with Super Bowl. Why am I arguing with Drew? This is like 2014 all over again when he's my boss.
Comments, we kind of like half look at them because when guys start trying to argue with us over the comments instead of saying something funny, like Rob saying that Leduc looks like his boy, that's funny. Or Beth saying that I look more like Jurassic Park Chris Pratt, which I appreciate. I'm just not in that good a shape. So, or, Matt's
listen, at the end of Lamar is my number one choice, but at the end of the day, I will take Carr, I'll take Garoppolo, whoever they wind up getting. But if we get one of those guys, I'm still drafting a quarterback to let them sit behind those guys for a couple years. But I'll be happy with either of those two. They'll be the 2 best guys since Chad Pennington for us.
I think Lamar to the Jets would be like that offense would be scary between Lamar, a healthy Breece Hall whenever he comes back, and then if you can get Elijah Moore back up and running, and obviously pair him with Wilson, there's some weapons on that offense, and obviously we've talked about how the defense is ahead of schedule by a year or 2 as far as being ready to win now. So they get a legitimate quarterback on that team. I mean, for the Patriots are probably last place in that division again.
We'll see. That'd be the first time Carr's played with a defense that'll be above the 20th ranked defense in his whole career. So I think we'd see the best Derek Carr too. Kind of
that's another thing to think about too is how many more wins he would have had. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but how many more wins he would have had as a starter if Mike Mayock actually knew how to address a defensive need.
Mm-hmm.
like any sort of defense outside of any sort of defense whatsoever. And we see him now. He's always conservative, throwing the ball away on 4th down, almost looks scared to make a mistake because he's scared to put that defense out there. You give him a Sauce Gardner and Robert Saleh defense, we might start whipping it almost recklessly, but we're going to see a lot more big plays with that arm talent. So I think him to the Jets will see the best possible Derek Carr if they could keep everything intact as well, too.
I'll put this out here before we move on to the next topic, but imagine Lamar to Miami. Because, by the way, I've been saying Lamar to Miami for 2 freaking years, and everyone's like, oh, he's not. They're going to stay with Tua. I'm like, just wait. This is the same Dolphins that we know and love that will find a way to blow it by the end of the season. And there's a very realistic chance the Dolphins will even make the playoffs. They can lose out and not make it. So, like, guys, like, I have them losing this weekend to New England.
Wow. I think that's a very big possibility. It's Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's like 0-3 this season.
And he's also 0-3 in cold. He's also like terrible in cold weather games. So like I'll take the Patriots this weekend. That's why I benched Raheem Mostert. I'm like, I don't care who the hell's starting quarterback.
I think the Patriots have a better defense too than Miami. If I had to compare the two, I would take the Patriots defense right now.
Oh yeah, the Patriots defense is still top notch.
But you put Patriots defense against Teddy Bridgewater, who, listen, if you're any quarterback, if you're not winning games with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, then there's a real big issue. And they were like 0-3 without Tua for that time being.
I don't know. It's hard as a Patriots fan to say the Patriots are going to win a game with the way they keep losing games. It's becoming hard to believe it.
Maybe we'll get another tie.
Oh my God, a tie. Tie should be banned. I don't know. I think this is I think it's going to be a close game, but I think this is a game that the Patriots are going to walk away with at the end of the day.
I hope so.
My bonus can't stay because I just think it's going to be so weird watching. I wanted to see Tua against Bill, like in New England. I want to see how he'd really react. But of course, Tua's brain now looks like the jelly aisle at Stop and Shop. So, I mean,
is Tua done, guys?
Brandon Marshall made a really good point the other day on Inside the NFL. I'm like, dude, like if your brain is that shot, just call it a season. I don't care if it's Mike McDaniel's first year. Like, Mike McDaniel might not have a job if the NFL investigates this any further, or like if he's was afraid to lose his job, like they may go after Stephen Ross.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I know obviously when it comes to, you're on the brink of a playoff, health is something you want to push behind. I think he should really sit for the rest of this year and just come back next year healthy. Plus, I mean, I don't like what Drew was saying with championship defense. Nobody really talks about it, but the Patriots secondary is amazing right now. Like,
dude, where does Bill find these guys?
That was supposed to be like their weakest part of the defense this year.
We Jack and Jones and another Jones.
The rest of the team would be absolute horse shit, but at least the secondary would be good.
Well, both Joneses, Marcus Jones and Jack Jones, they both absolutely stepped up this year, which no one saw coming. So that's
also, I think Bill's coverage scheme is just insane. Like watching on tape is like watching like Mozart paint. It's like he may not be the best at getting after the pass rush if he doesn't have Body by Taco Bell, aka Matt Judon, or
I was gonna say
some guy like Devon. He needs like some freak of nature pass rusher to have an effective defense, but. I mean, listen, if they actually weren't complete morons and actually had a decent offense, the Patriots might have a winning record this year. But, the unfortunate thing is they're relying on Teddy B having a terrible game this week.
You know what the smart thing is? The most smart thing, too, with Bill is I'm pretty sure – I don't even know if he's actually – what he's paying either Patricia or Joe Judge, but I'm pretty sure
he's not paying anything. That's the Giants and Lions are still paying their contracts.
I mean, listen, I never said I was a cultured human, okay?
Yeah. But see, like the one thing is like, they might take a hit this year, whether they do or don't make playoffs. But the genius level of this man just throwing his boys into the roster, like, hey, I'll keep you employed. I'm not going to pay you. Other organizations are going to pay you to call plays for us. That's genius to me, even though it's not working out. But it's just the mindset of like, I got two guys doing the offense for me and I'm not paying them shit.
Well, the other argument I actually heard on local radio here recently was like another theory as to why he's not giving, Patricia the offensive coordinator title. He's still just an offensive assistant, is because if he hired him and gave him that title as the coordinator, he is then subject to have to bring in other people to interview. And this way he was able to just give him any title he wanted and give him whatever, responsibilities he wanted without having to deal with other people.
Yeah. And touching up on the comment, if they brought Bill O'Brien back to the New England as the offensive coordinator, that'd be a fucking amazing for New England.
I would love that.
Oh yeah,
bring back Bill O'Brien as offensive coordinator, and then go back out and get find Brian Flores and bring him back as defensive coordinator, and all will be right.
He's on Pittsburgh, so good luck. But I mean, you can try.
Nice, like a defensive assistant or something like that.
In charge of linebackers or something.
Yeah, he's had a quiet year as far as after all the things.
You could keep the same exact Patriots team and just put those two guys into those coordinator roles. Guaranteed, you're getting at least 10 to 11 wins right now with this team.
The one thing that we all thought was going to be an issue for the Patriots was a lack of top end talent, but I don't think. Yeah, they still think they don't have a top end talent other than maybe at running back between Harris and Stevenson. But I think the talent is good enough on this team to where, yeah, you're right. If they had just had some more consistency in the coaching positions, 10 wins I think would definitely be in the game this year.
I know he's. I know he's been up and down.
Nobody likes Steve Belichick except for his facial expressions.
Yeah, he does have some great expressions. I wonder if those sometimes he does that and it's like a play call and we just laugh at it, but he's really calling some blitz or whatever. Underrated in my opinion. He hasn't been healthy this whole year, but I think Tyquan Thornton could be something pretty special if you just give him an actual offensive coach that can actually put plays in to get him involved. But he's a fast guy and I think he's dangerous.
Well, you would think someone like Troy Brown, a receiver coach, would have been able to kind of develop him a little bit more. So, like you said, if with some health over the offseason, maybe we can see that come to fruition next year.
Fair.
Yeah. Right. Well, I also thought that, Zach Wilson hiring his own quarterback coach for his whole career would help him out too, and that's not working. So it doesn't always work out.
All right, let's moving on. We're gonna. By the way, if you guys can tell by the shirt, he's back. Jalen Hurts back to practice this week, so playing your fantasy lineups accordingly. Was seen throwing and participating in walk through plays and full scrimmage and all that other stuff. So back at practice, slinging the rock around. His shoulder, the arm feels fine. The only thing they're worried about is the contact. But I mean, listen, as long as Jack Driscoll does a good job for Lane Johnson, we don't have to play him week 18 against the Giants. We can put out the mustache of Minshew and call it a day. I just need Jalen to put up like about 25, 30 points in fantasy and seal my victory for the championship over my good friend Pat, and we'll call it a day. And also shut Cruz up with all this Eagles against Saints slander. I don't want to hear it.
What's it? Is it his throwing shoulder or his non-throwing shoulder?
It's his throwing. It's technically so. SC joint is here.
God.
It's here.
Mm-hmm.
AC joint, which I thought it was, is here. That's the one I was worried about because that's a 4 to 5 week injury. But like an SC joint's 1 to 2. That ain't shit. That's just like your collarbone.
Yeah. So maybe take the under on the passing and then the over on the rushing.
Oh no, they're gonna run they're like Miles Sanders may have like 300 yards rushing on Sunday because I think he's more pissed off about his fumble than anybody else is. Him, Boston Scott, and Kenny Gainwell will probably run for 1,000 yards in the Saints.
Yeah, that's gonna be a shit show.
I love how Saints fans think they're gonna win this one. Like, do you realize if you put Minshew and we'd still kick your ass?
My buddy at my job is like, he's a big Saints fan, and we were talking about it. He's like, oh, we're gonna get fucking destroyed. He's like, I hope it's Minshew playing. He's like, we're still gonna lose, but like, he's like, this isn't gonna be pretty. I was like, oh, at least you understand. But I'm actually surprised. I don't think
it's gonna be like the Bears or the Texans where they're gonna give us a run. I think the Eagles are so pissed off about last week because they had the Cowboys on the ropes, and then Sanders fumbles. They give up that 3rd and 30 to freaking T.Y. Hilton. Fucking T.Y. And then, DJ, why do you have to freaking spawn his unholy self on us?
Like I told you.
Why just sign him back to wither away like your franchise?
Receiver 1.5 on the Cowboys. He is the X factor that will propel them to winning a playoff game. Not going much further than that, but they'll actually win one this year because of the team.
Yeah, they'll beat the Buccaneers. I will say that, or whoever comes out of the South. I can almost guarantee, unless Dak has one of those Dak games. I love how we can finally say that now. One of those Dak games where he'll just throw a ball where nobody is open. So
I don't know. I've just got this I got that deep down feeling like once you get into the playoffs, man, Tom Brady just might be regular Tom Brady.
MVP.
Tom Brady will just wake up from his slumber and be like, "Oh, I'm in the playoffs." He's like, "All right, time to actually try."
He has to play like Minnesota or Philly on the road.
Yeah. No, I'm talking Dallas or Commanders.
I want to see Hassan Reddick chasing Tom Brady down from behind. That's gonna be looking like a freaking tiger chasing a really out of shape deer.
Just a sleeping gazelle.
The divorce is done, Drew.
Yeah, no, listen, now he's dating.
Doesn't he already have another?
Now he's dating like a 26-year-old motto. Life is good for him, man. Also, Giselle was fucking cheating on. Giselle was fucking cheating on him. Fuck Giselle.
Yeah, I don't like Giselle.
Listen, I'm not even the biggest Brady fan, but you got to stay with the boys if the girl's cheating.
Is he technically a sugar daddy?
The rumor is that she's been kind of like, even when like around like training camp, there was some whispers, and it got more and more real when they were seen on a date. And like apparently it goes farther back than them separating. So allegedly, I'm not gonna say what it is, but listen, if there's smoke, there's fire. And Tommy's got a 26-year-old model dating him. So you know what? My man wrote out on top.
Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a lot of things that lead to happiness.
All right. No. What's the old line from Eminem? Money can't buy happiness. It could buy crazy ass happiness. Oh man,
he's probably spending his endorsement money on her, anyways.
Yeah, right. Some sad news today. The soccer world lost arguably their most famous, if not their second most famous name of all time. Brazilian soccer star and legend Pele passed away today, 82 years old. Listen, I barely gave two fucks about soccer most of my life, and I knew who Pele was. I'd seen highlights of him absolutely just dazzle the pitch. Like it's phenomenal, and it's really sad. I mean, I'm surprised my new manager at my job, who's from Brazil, he's a giant Brazil soccer fan, isn't like upset. But then again, he's only 5 years older than me. He probably never saw to see Pele play. So that being said, Pele was a legend of the game. He is arguably one of the most influential soccer players ever, and he will be missed. That's all I gotta say, man. Listen, I'm not gonna like spew on about a guy I barely know. But listen, I know the name. That should tell you everything to know. My ignorant American ass knows who Pele is. So rest in peace to a legend, a certified GOAT, and rest in peace, man.
Yeah. And the NFL world also lost Ronnie Hillman the other week from, I believe, cancer battle.
Yeah, he was, 31, 32, I think.
Yeah,
dude, I remember him in the Super Bowl a few years ago. Like, what?
Yeah, it was Peyton Manning's Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was the game that I literally was so boring. I drove my roommate home to his house, and I came back, and the game hadn't changed.
Yeah, I remember that game sucking.
Dude, I remember that game because that was the last time I ever had Budweiser Black Crown. Do you guys remember those?
Nope.
I don't remember the Black Crowns. No,
dude, they were like, it was like
drink Budweiser.
It was like Budweiser's attempt at like craft beer, and it actually was really freaking good. It was like a Budweiser, but with like a smoky finish to it, almost like whiskey. And it was. Matt didn't like them. I drank them like crazy.
Oh,
I never had one. I don't know. It just sounds like
it was
something
like
that shouldn't be out.
6.6 too, so it was a lot like higher proof.
All right.
Sounds like asshole on a barbecue. That just sounds terrible.
I mean, listen, I'm drinking Coors Banquet right now, so God bless. This is the nectar of the gods, baby.
What's funny is that you actually poured it into a glass too.
Dude, I've learned two things. One, if you're gonna drink Coors Banquet, either do out of the bottle or in an actual glass or on draft. Like there's no the cans. Like you drink it straight out of a can, you better have had 3 or 4 on you before, because it tastes a little different.
You're the first person I've seen drink that outside of a football game, and that was like the $5 beer of the day.
Dude, I love Coors Banquet. That's like my favorite cheap beer.
Okay.
Well, Matt, you love to group around me slamming Miller Lights all through college, so.
Yeah, no, I was a big Miller Lite guy. I'm not gonna lie to you; those things were like.
That's because me and you found out, like, what was our junior year? We were both trying to cut weight. That it was like the lowest calorie light beer.
No, I was Michelob Ultra. We bought a case of that on the Vineyard.
Then we found out if you shotgun Michelob Ultra, because it's double carbonated to hide the lack of flavor, that you basically will feel like somebody's punching you in the sternum when you burp. It's the I shotgun 2 in a row. For that
exact reason,
dude. This is why I only drink Miller Lite now, for Miller Lite or Coors. I'll drink Budweiser and Coors Light too, but I won't drink Bud Light. And then
I
my
don't drink
best
Bud
friend
Light.
drinks High Life, but I just won't drink Bud Light. My buddy shows up with Bud Light and goes, "Hey, we're gonna shotgun these." I'm like, "That's all it's good for." And he goes, "You don't like Bud Light?" I'm like, "It's rice water. The fuck you mean?" This is the same guy. I drank a vanilla cacao nips and marshmallow stout last night.
The fuck?
Cacao nips are basically chocolate seeds. They're delicious.
No, but that's just too many flavors in a beer.
Dude, it tastes like a s'more with whiskey. It's amazing.
Sounds too complex.
Okay.
It's by Evil Twin Brewing. It's called
I know Evil Twin.
Manhattan Hotel at Christmas Time. That's what the name of the beer is called. It's an imperial
Manhattan Hotel at Christmas
A
time.
long ass name.
Hey, listen,
on a can?
I saw at the liquor store on the corner of my house. They had like one more 4-pack left. I was like, it's meant to be. I haven't seen this beer in 2 years.
What do you? It's like Jared Saltalamacchia's jersey name that just curls all the way across the back.
Great first name though. All right, moving on. We've got. We can start talking college ball. I did want to bring up this because we have 3 weeks left in the year. 3 days left. No, 3 days. 2 days left in the year, and it's been a crazy year in sports. We've seen upsets. We've seen just ass beatings. We've seen wild extra inning games. We've seen rule changes. So, DJ, I saw you and Kelsey did this for your show, so we'll do a corner booth spin on it. Let's reminisce on some of our favorite memories of and some memories we want to forget in sports. I'll start off with a memory I want to forget. Tom Brady and the boys doing the riverboat after they just housed the Eagles in Jalen Hurts' playoff debut. Want to forget that. One thing I will remember is A.J. Brown doing the finger pointing the Pittsburgh defense after he scored his 3rd touchdown. That was funny. But I'm feeling a little Eagles theme today. What are you guys loving about 2022 in sports?
When are you not feeling an Eagles theme? I mean,
I love my team, man.
It's really simple for me. My top sports moment of the year it just happened. It's Messi finally getting the World Cup. I think that goes just beyond this year. I think that's like a decade kind of sports story. I think it's that big. It's probably top 5 sports story of the last 20 years. So that because it's the magnitude of that in his last World Cup across the soccer world is just massive. So that's my top sports moment of the year for sure.
A couple of fun ones that some people we remember because they're fresh in our minds or ones that we haven't talked about in a while. Some of the obvious ones like Aaron Judge breaking the American League home run record. Albert Pujols getting into the 700 club. I was like, that was a great moment and him going to the playoffs and everything. That just felt like it was very meaningful, and it meant a lot for especially all of us who grew up and he was probably just starting his career. So we watched him his whole entire career.
Also, Miggy with 3,000.
Miggy with 3,000. He's coming back next year. How about after the first 3 weeks of the season when the top passing leaders were Carson Wentz and Joe Flacco? That was fun. It was different. It doesn't happen.
This
ever.
NFL season has felt like such a journey. It's like I can't even remember that far back. I got another one for you. North Carolina kicking Duke's head in on Coach K's last game at Cameron Indoor.
That was fun.
LSU beating Alabama.
Oh my God.
I was the only one that picked it.
Tennessee beating Alabama.
Jalen Hyatt's 5-piece.
Oh my God, that was fucking crazy.
Zach Wilson getting benched twice.
Zach Wilson not taking it, taking responsibility for him fucking up the entire offense. Marcus Jones's fucking punt return.
Yes,
I watched that live. That was insane.
That was
yeah, I was behind because everybody's like, "What the fuck just happened?" And I'm like, and I saw us convert the first down. I was like, maybe this is good. Maybe this is a good what the fuck just happened. Then 20 seconds later, I was like, oh, this is what they did. I got everybody like texting me, ha. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
How about when
preseason
Zach Wilson Man of the Year shirts in the training camp though, and how things have changed since then too.
Yeah,
he went from people's Man of the Year T-shirts for CJ Uzoma for his off-field activities to his on-the-field activities, getting him on the bench.
Kazir White's partially tearing Zach Wilson's meniscus. It was a good time.
You're welcome.
I remember I was so upset, and I was like, "Oh man, I got to thank that guy. I forgot." Yeah, then the ones nobody wants to remember, the lateral with Oakland or Vegas, and probably the craziest finish in NFL history.
What was another one I loved? John Morant's dunk over Malik Beasley.
That was a beast of a dunk.
That was just that. I'm rooting for Malik Beasley on the Timberwolves at that point. So I'm like, I was hating it, but I was like, I'm sitting on my chair like, oh, that was amazing. I can't like when you watch a sports moment and you're just like, I don't even care if this is against my team. That's fucking awesome.
Matt Stafford winning the Super Bowl and then getting drunk and then walking away from the lady that just fell down in front of him or something like that.
How about Von Bell's pick off of Mahomes in the AFC Championship game? The tip pass.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or the run of Zach McMoney's moonshot field goals. Last season was good.
Pearson, we're going to the AFC Championship.
The Peacocks of St. Pete. Oh, it's St. Peter's, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. In the tournament.
Yep, St. Peter's, and then North Carolina had to curb stomp them.
That time where Tyreek Hill demanded a trade, and then within 20 minutes, it was down to the Miami and the Jets, and then 3 minutes after that, it was Miami. All in 25 minutes, he wanted a trade. We found out that there was 2 favorites, and he took one of them.
That trade moved almost as fast as he does.
Yeah. That time where we thought
I did a dad joke there. It was right there.
That time that we thought I think both Debo and DK were gone, and they both stayed, and it was really AJ Brown and Devontae that were gone. Yeah, and Devontae Adams. The 2 guys that didn't say shit got dealt, but the 2 guys that talked all the shit got kept.
I mean, I will say the Geno Smith comeback has been a good story.
They ain't right back, though. Come on, Russell Wilson with the Jesus pose in the midfield in the first play of the game. This is why, everyone talks about 2016 being amazing. They always talk about 2016 being the GOAT sports year because it had amazing title games. But every year you look back, and I honestly think, oh, you know what? Honestly, Rob, we got to give Rob a bow right here. Perfect. Because he's on point. He's on point.
So true.
I fully admit it. I said the Chiefs are going to finish in second behind the Chargers, with the Raiders in third and the Broncos in fourth. I did call the Broncos finishing in last because I think Russell Wilson's a fraud, just like the guy from FTX. And they both have weird hair.
FTX. Even he's not that much of a fraud.
Yeah. Then you got Carlos Correa, who's combined agreed to a 25-year, $700 million contract, and is still not signed.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Just say fuck it. Steve Cohen says screw it. We don't want him anymore. Oh my God. What's another fun one?
Steph Curry in Game 4 taunting the entire Boston Garden as well too, because Draymond Green's pooping his pants at the crowd yelling at him. Then Steph Curry taunts the entire crowd while giving him 40.
God.
Luka versus the
Draymond Green punch.
That was a great series, by the way. Luka versus the Suns.
Oh yeah.
Watching the Rangers choke away a Stanley Cup appearance.
Yeah, that was fun. Draymond Green punching his teammate.
Sorry, Kyle, I know my boy Kyle Hall's probably watching. Kyle, I'm sorry. I fucking hate. Listen, I said the Rangers haven't won a Stanley Cup since before I was born. I don't want to see what happens when they win one. God might say it's time to pull the trigger on me.
I was gonna say TMZ having Draymond and punching his teammate.
Oh my God, Draymond and Jordan Poole.
And then
I forgot about that shit.
Willie McGinnis fucking a guy up in the club.
How about Alvin Kamara knocking a dude basically unconscious at a Vegas club and not getting a single fucking fine?
Yeah, nobody even mentioned it after that. They're like, we're gonna just leave this be.
Watch the dude They're like, the dude said something just we're not gonna repeat on this show, and that's why he got off.
Cooper Rush being a better quarterback than Dak.
I ain't saying shit.
At least this year.
I ain't saying shit because I know somebody's watching me somewhere. I ain't saying shit.
Oh man, I hate to do it to anybody in the chat that's a Mets fan, but the Mets winning 101 games and losing in the wild card, choking away the division to the Braves, and then just losing the wild card first round.
Oh my God, the Mets losing is fucking hysterical. I don't remember this story at all because I barely pay attention to hockey, but this does sound like an actual really cool story. So
yeah.
Got to give shows best some love there. All I just know is the Rangers didn't win the Stanley Cup this year, so life is good. Let's see what else we got here. I had one more. It was funny.
Non 2022 in a nutshell related, but I just saw somebody post that, which would be hilarious. It would never happen, but it's just hilarious. They said the Jets should sign IK Enemkapali, who was a linebacker that punched Geno Smith in the face years ago and broke his jaw. They said they should sign him to a one-day contract and have him walk out with the captains at the coin toss.
Great year in sports, though, right?
That was amazing.
So let's see. We got to see the Rams get the first Super Bowl. We got the Warriors winning another one. Fucking Warriors. We got to see Armando Bacot's ankle affect an entire tournament's final response. Dude, that broke my heart, man. I saw my entire like $2,000 like winnings drop like a lead balloon. We got to see the end of Coach K. Thank God. We got to see Tiger come back.
Yes.
I'm a little biased because one of my mom's best friends, her husband is his caddy. Joe LaCava, I grew up with his kids.
Okay.
And, like, I know him personally.
Nice.
Maybe one of these days I'll bring him on the show, Duck, and I'll have you zoom in for it. We'll do a collaboration. It's my guest though. He's my connection.
I know.
You know, and we got to see who won the Stanley Cup this year. I remember. I just know the Rangers didn't win it.
Who did win the Stanley Cup?
Why am I drawing a blank? Beth,
this is where we need you. Beth, who won the Stanley Cup this year?
I forget too. Shit.
I know. All I remember is like I just watched the NBA playoffs that entire time. We got to see the Dodgers not win it. God bless.
Wasn't Tampa? Was it?
The Avalanche. That's right.
Thank you, Kelsey. Hey, Bert. Tell Ernie I said thank you.
Wait, I thought I was Ernie. Shit.
No, you're Bert. You're wait, no, but like
you
just for shape, just for shape of head, he looks more like Ernie.
All right, so now I'm Bert. Like I need to wipe all these names.
How are we besties, Beth? I'm trying here. Okay, there's only so many sports I can follow at once. Oh my God, I'm trying to remember everything else. Oh yeah, we saw and college football. We got to see not Alabama win. Georgia basically showing the nation, hey, if you recruit a bunch of like non-human specimens from Asgard, they're gonna kill everybody.
We had a Mr. Irrelevant
quarterback,
Brock Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, who made the roster and then also wound up starting in the NFL and is undefeated right now.
For now. All right. But I think that's a perfect way to cap off a year in 2022. A wild-ass year in 2022. I'm excited to see how it ends. Obviously, with the championship games. Because last year ended with us actually getting to see a non-Power 5 team go to the playoff and then fight for about 2 quarters, and then Alabama's kind of imposed their will on them.
About 2 plays.
Oh, we have to see part 2 of Ohio State regressing as a program.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance.
Yeah, no. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the meat and potatoes of this freaking show. Brought to you by the amazing people at eatsofficial.com. Promo code Korner Booth for 10% off. Listen, these are dog proof, human proof, Jared proof. That's all you need to know. Amazing styles, polarized, and they look stylish. So there you go. I'm going to keep them on and drink a little water. All right.
There's definitely some vodka in that water. You're not fooling nobody.
No, because I'm drinking beer. And we're going to add more to it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's crack a 6-pack. That was clean. All right. Start it off. Actually, we know. Shit, we missed a segment. Fuck it. We'll do it live. This isn't part of the 6-pack, but we're going to do it anyway. Thursday night, this is hilarious because this line has shifted 3 times today. It is now currently 13.5, and the breaking news is Josh Dobbs will be starting for Tennessee tonight at home as they are 13.5-point dogs. I am taking Tennessee to cover. There is no way in hell in a Thursday night football game this is going to be that big of a blowout.
Even with Hassan Haskins running back as well for the Titans. Like, where's
I
their
don't
offense
care
tonight?
if it's freaking
Where's their offense?
running backs. There is something about the Cowboys getting way too cocky that makes me think this is going to be way closer than they want it to be.
I don't know. I never usually buy into the double-digit the spreads on Thursday Night Football as well, but this feels like it's going to be a boring blowout.
Listen,
No
Josh
time.
preseason. The dude's a rocket scientist, so he's smart as hell. I figure, fuck it. Like, I'm not gonna bet any. Like, I'm gonna do a same game parlay during this pick segment. Obviously, Matt, how you feeling about tonight's Thursday night game?
I think this is going to be a lopsided game in Cowboys' favor. You got no Tannehill. You have Josh Dobbs in. They're not playing Malik Willis, who averages like 100 yards a game, I think, passing, maybe less than that. You got no Derrick Henry. Yeah, I think the Cowboys defense is going to swallow up Dobbs and the backup running backs. I don't see anything about this game going in the Titans' favor. However, every time we talk about a game like this, we usually wind up like just eating our words and the other team wins. But I don't think it's going to be one of those times. I'm not touching the spread because I don't favor well with big spreads. I'm like 1 for like 4 with that, so I'm not going to touch the spread, but I'll take the Cowboys money line.
I am taking the wow. Okay, so it logged me out. Thanks, DraftKings. I'm taking Hassan. So no Tony Pollard this week apparently.
No Tony Pollard.
Okay, so I'm taking Zeke for a touchdown and Treylon Burks for a touchdown. Just something feels like a blown play, and they're gonna actually get it.
I put Dalton Schultz in for a touchdown mostly because of my championship. I have him and Dak in.
Let's get a lot of
I don't know. I mean, Burks is risky, but I'm sure the odds are pretty high for that.
Plus 550, baby. You know I roll like that.
Oh, I don't blame you. I would have done the same thing. That's their only option they got besides Robert Woods.
Who said it? Who was it? Somebody said it on the live stream. Shout out to Kevin Willis. I think it was Kevin or one of them. But they're like, oh yeah, Jared's that guy who bets just like straight money line and something ridiculous. I think Kelsey goes, dude, you have no idea. Dude, Josh Dobbs over 150 passing yards, only minus 130. You kidding me? That's a layup. That's just too big. That's like 4 big throws.
Yes, Drew, you beat me by 2 points.
I'm gonna have Josh Dobbs
talked about that.
1 interception.
Well, I'm in many other leagues, but yes, you did beat me by 2 points. He was my old boss back in the day. I can't escape it. I get bullied on here, and I get bullied back in the day.
It's okay, Matt. I'll protect you, and so will be.
But I do appreciate you, Drew, for tuning in. It does mean a lot, showing support. So I thank you for watching the episode and commenting on it.
Any Micah Parsons have 2 sacks. There we go. Plus 20,000. We're rolling with it, gents. All right. Yeah. I listen. The Cowboys are winning this game. If they don't, I'm going to laugh like Ralph Wiggum. Or not Nelson.
That was good. That was a good Ralph. I like that.
You might have a team talent that we haven't. I say I'm a real boy.
Kelsey gets it. That's the vibe.
Yeah, because then you're like, do you really want to do that? And you're like, I'm putting down like $3. I was like, oh,
listen,
load up the
there's
legs.
a famous Latin proverb: "Fortune favors the bold." I am very bold. All right. Any other things about Thursday night before we actually get into the real 6-pack here?
T.Y. Hilton scores a touchdown tonight because he terrorizes the AFC South. And I think there's going to be a lot of
last time he's done that, though.
Like less than a year ago with Carson Wentz throwing the ball. So it's a lateral move going to Josh.
That's fair enough, actually. You're right. I keep forgetting he played last year.
Right. He did 3 things right. Gets a regular turnover for bets. Praise to Jesus. And throws at least 1 bomb touchdown every year that makes you remember, oh, he's got a cannon.
Exactly.
I took the Cowboys money line, Dalton Schultz anytime touchdown, Dak over the 234.5 passing, Dalton Schultz over the 38.5 receiving, CD over the 73.5. And then I took the alternate points total over 35.5. I think the Cowboys score more than 26.5 for the entire game. And then I took the over on the Cowboys 13.5 for the first and the second half point total.
Matt, what's my rule about same game parlays and receiving yards?
I don't remember, but I didn't listen.
Never do it. I've lost 4 parlays on literally just a receiving yards.
I know, and I'm banking on this defense shitting the absolute fucking shittiest bed possible.
Speaking
I'm
of
talking
which,
like a box spring.
The NFC South, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh God.
Panthers and Bucks. The fact that this game is only -3 is asinine, stupid, hilarious, ridiculous, Skip Bayless, everything. It's I'm going with the Bucks. Like, goddamn, like if Brady doesn't win this game, just retire. Go retire away to some mansion with your FTX fraud winnings and your 26-year-old girlfriend. Okay, I'm done.
I imagine Tom Brady in the corner watching some like motivational videos, just like looking in the mirror, telling himself like, I'm Tom Brady, like over and over again. Because there's just no way this man's going to lose that division to the Buccaneers of Sam Darnold. There's just no way. So give me the Buccaneers. Yeah. I refuse to think that Sam can win. Well, Sam, it's a whole nother story. He sucks. I fucking hate him. So give me the Bucks.
I picture him sitting in a corner with that same needle, just carving LFG into his arm as well, too, and then getting his plastic surgeon who fixed his chin to carve it back down, just carving into his arm nonstop, trying to get himself pumped up. That being said, I'm going to take the Panthers in this one. We saw the Bucks last week, almost lost to Trace McSorley. Panthers are kind of rolling right now, and this division is nothing but pure chaos. This will not get clinched until the last week. So give me the Panthers pulling the upset in this week.
I mean, I would love to see that happen, DJ. I just feel like the Bucks. I mean, I'm going to go Bucks here, but I kind of hope you're right, DJ. Just because it's been fun to watch the Bucks suffer this year.
I mean, he threw
roommate telepathy.
He's got the right idea. It's going to be a 4-way tie, and then there's going to have to Rochambeau on who gets in. The division's going to end up 4-way.
No, all right, we're going to put other quarterbacks in the middle of the arena, give them a shard of broken glass, open tryouts.
I might win that one. That might be his best shot at winning this one. You know he can scrap after dealing with the jiu-jitsu the last few years. You know he can throw down.
All right, Duckman.
I already said Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Making sure. I got yelled at last week for skipping over Mason a few times. He's on vacation, so shout out to Mace. All right, Jets and Seahawks. I'll lead this off. Jets, Jets. Listen, it's been a long time coming since I bet on the Jets win, and it's also been a long time coming since the Seahawks have actually made me proud to bet. F the Seahawks, go Jets.
Yeah, I think I'm obviously picking the Jets. I just need to. I can't just not do it. So I refuse to believe that Geno Smith is going to complete the trifecta of his comeback tour. The Seahawks, I think, are turning out to be who we thought they were going to be in the sense of they are a lot better than they were, that we all thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year, but they're on that collapse right now. I don't remember the last time they won the game. They're just slowly going downhill. They've already lost that division. It looks like they've just lost hope and everything. I'm banking on the Jets and Mike White to come back and salvage the season for us and hopefully make it a win in game in last week of the year. So give me the Jets over the Seahawks.
I understand I made a spelling mistake. I don't want to hear it, Beth. Okay, listen, I wrote these up last night at like 7:15. All right, DJ.
Hold on, I was like you said 7:15, like it was like super late.
No, not 7:15. Sorry, 10:15.
Oh, okay.
Like I was already starting to fall asleep, and I was like, "Oh, I better put the game picks in." I already did the setup for the show. I was put the game picks in while I'm at it.
Just give me the Jets. The return of Mike White. They finally have a quarterback back there. Tyler Lockett's banged up, might not play as well too. There's a lot to like about the Jets going to this one as well too. And I think Geno Smith's not writing back yet, but he's at least cranked out the paper and pen as well too. And sat down. So
we're adding rock music to this because it makes everything better. All right, here we go.
Coming from.
Yeah, I just we started doing it for my. I do like a Mad Lib, retelling of what the six pack was the previous week on the show, and me, Mason, and Matt just started doing rock music in the background. I started doing like a comedy skit, and it ended up being a lot more entertaining. So you know what we're doing for the six pack as well, because this is what you hear at the cheesy bars where I'm drinking Coors Banquet and trying to get the waitress's number who's ignoring me.
This reminds me of a Ford F-150 commercial.
It does.
Wait, no, there's no Arctic Monkeys riff going on.
Right. I don't want to say it, but yeah, give me the Jets here as well.
If it makes you feel any better, I've got the Pats winning this week.
It's the Jets losing would. The Jets losing would obviously make the road for the Pats a lot easier, but I feel like same thing. That last playoff spot's going to come down to next week. So,
all righty, here we go. Vikings and Packers. How the fuck are the Packers favored? I don't know. Vegas is on something. This is like when the Lions were underdogs with the Jags. Give me the Vikings running away with this.
I don't know. In the words of my coworker, this is a rat line. Vegas does not like Kirk Cousins, and everybody's gonna be hammering the Vikings in that plus whatever it is money line, and I think it's not gonna go in their favor. I think this is a fixed game set up for everybody to pick the Vikings, but I think the Packers are gonna come out and win. Honestly, though, the Packers are heating up at the right time. They're barely fighting for that spot, but they're winning games. I think Christian Watson has a big game this week, so give me the Packers for the upset. Technical upset, even though it's they're the favorites.
Let's
Weird
see,
random
Packers.
The
I
only
was just looking at the time of the game. Sorry.
The only game the Vikings have won all year that wasn't a nail biter was Week 1 over the Packers as well. So whoever their game has been basically right down to the wire. So that being said, I'm gonna take the Vikings in this one too. When you lose by double digits to the Vikings, you know you have some old set of issues as well too. It is a 425 as we're seeing in the comment section as well too. Not quite prime time, not quite the 8:30 Kirk Cousins death time. So give me the Vikings in a relatively close one. The Packers probably would have lost last week to his brain explode. So
You like that?
You got to be more high pitched and a little bit more unconvincing. And you need to more.
I mean, I also have to be like doing like this. Well, I got 2 chains on that work for me. No watch.
You need
though.
about 27 more, and they got to be like 18
Listen,
pounds.
I got my 1 Cuban link, and I've got my onyx necklace, which is supposed to ward off bad energy. But here we go. I'm doing the thuggy
Nice.
dance.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings here as well. I haven't liked a single thing the Packers have done all year this year, so give me the Vikings here, even though I still think they're a fake team.
I mean, Christian Watson's been entertaining.
He has been. When he's been healthy, he's been entertaining for sure.
So he's what I thought Chase Claypool was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Chase Claypool was what I thought Christian Watson is, that dynamic big play receiver that can just absolutely fucking fly. So I got to watch him live, by the way. That dude is one of the 5 fastest guys I've ever seen play live.
Okay.
I watched him outrun the entire Eagles defense on a drag route. I was like, holy shit, this dude can run. It was the only reason that score was even close. Yeah, Kelsey said it was 425. It sounds like it's a Hemi. Yes, this is a Hemi. My first car was a Hemi, actually. All right, moving down to everyone's favorite game this week, the Loser Bowl. Deshaun versus Carson.
Yeah,
I almost wrote Brownies versus Commies, but I feel like that sounds a little weird.
I don't know. The level of confidence I have in Carson Wentz is equivalent to walking into Taco Bell and then leaving without any sort of stomach issues. It's just not possible. I have no confidence.
Actually, I'll go on long drives after Taco Bell. There's no issue.
You must have like a body of complete machine right there, because
no, because I can't freaking Chipotle.
I don't think Carson Wentz is the answer. I don't think any of them are the answer for them, but I think Carson Wentz is going to set them back rather than move them forward. And even though I know Deshaun Watson has been just regressing and not progressing, Nick Chubb, I believe, is coming back or is going to be playing this week. So give me the Browns over the Commies.
All right, one's a slime ball, basically equivalent to the NFL version of Bill Cosby. One is a man of God and a hunter. Give me the man of God shooting down Deshaun and his roofies. Give me, I'm sorry, his ignorance to say no during massages. Sorry. All right, listen, one's a piece of shit, one's just a piece of shit teammate. Give me the piece of shit teammate. Carson Wentz and the Commies get the win.
Speaking of Bill Cosby, apparently he's touring next
year.
year.
You beat me
Wait,
to
what?
it.
Yeah, he's going to be touring next year. Is it bad? I want to see him. Is he going to Connecticut?
No, you don't gonna pay money and put money in that guy's pocket.
Is it going to his victims?
I just want to see him walk out to the Cosby Show song and then do his little weird dance like the intro, and then I'll leave.
He's gonna throw his back out trying to do that. Dude's like 1,000. Matt, you paid Browns, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, DJ, go.
I'm going to go with the Commies in this one just because, for no other reason, the Browns defense has kind of sucked this year. It is dramatically underperformed from being top 5 last year to being mediocre at best this year. And the Browns offense has stagnated in the last month or so. Like, they haven't even cracked 20 points since the came back. This Chubb, there's no room for him to go. Case Young's coming back. Commies defense is starting to catch fire. And I think Carson will find some holes in that secondary. I mean, Joe Flacco will find some holes in the secondary. I think Carson will find some holes. He'll get a sack 9 times, but he'll have like 3 passes more.
Fair. I can just see in my future Jurassic Miles just body slamming Carson Wentz at some point during the game. So bet at least one Carson Wentz fumble, kids.
Bet the over, crank that up, take that bet off.
Crank it. I'm calling it 2 freaking Carson Wentz fumbles. Jurassic Miles might actually just throw his helmet at him from across the line of scrimmage and knock the ball out.
2 Carson turnovers, 2 Carson touchdowns. The classic.
All right, moving to the kids who get paid a little less. We're going college, boys. All right, Clemson and Tennessee. Listen, no Hendon Hooker, the receiver who put up a 5-piece against Alabama, whose name escapes me. He's not playing either. Yeah, Highland. Either way, I don't know what to make of this Clemson team because I watched them almost lose to Syracuse. They entertained Miami for about 15 minutes. My Hurricanes are a dumpster fire. So that's why the hat's on backwards. And then they proceeded to basically just shit down North Carolina's throat. So, that being said, I took Tennessee on the football show, but I'm a gambling man. I really am. How is the backup for Tennessee? Anybody actually know if this kid actually has some decency? Kelsey, I'll for you in the comments.
He's all right. He's okay.
He's all right.
There's not enough to know for sure, but he seemed okay in the limited actions.
We all lose. Listen, Kelsey's on point. We all.
Yeah, I love that point.
Don't wear those ugly ass orange jerseys anyway. Listen, I can't. Listen, I bet if I lose if I bet on an ACC team. I bet if I bet against, I lose if I bet against an ACC team. Either way, give me the fucking Volunteers. I don't. Like, this is just pure seething hatred at this point.
I'm gonna go Clemson. No DJ Ungalele, no relation to Michael Umunonanui. But, he's in the transfer portal. You got Klubnik in right now. We've had a really good game against North Carolina. But Tennessee, you got no Hendon Hooker, and you got no Jalen Hyatt because he opted out. So give me Clemson in this one.
All right.
I'm going Tennessee.
This, by the way, is also, I don't know, Matt, would you consider this an upset?
No, because I have a bigger upset coming.
No, would you consider this my upset since Clemson's fucking favorite?
They're like, it's number 7 versus number 6. Why, do you have something else in mind?
I'm looking down the line right now. Honestly, this was either going to be it or actually, wait, no, I actually have my upsets next game. Actually,
yeah. So do that one. I swear, if it's the same freaking one.
Listen, for this week, I don't know. I'll go first just to make sure I get it. All right, you boys both pick your game.
Give me Clemson. Give me Clemson.
And I was saying Tennessee just because I don't think I've picked them wrong against the spread this year. So
fair. Next up, New Year's Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, we have my upset pick. I fell in love watching Max Duggan run his damn heart out of his freaking chest. This dude has a heart condition and carried that team to a Heisman campaign level season. If it wasn't for one of the Riley brothers choking like they usually do, they would probably be undefeated right now. F Kansas State. Listen, Michigan split in because they basically got to play a cupcake Purdue team and an Ohio State team's more concerned about NIL deals than winning game. Listen, I love that receiving core. My boy Jake Crane from Crane & Company said it best on the college football show. They have a top 3 receiving core. Quentin Johnson is a monster. They have that little speedy motherfucker who runs like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and they just have a balanced team. And this team believes, and I love a guy like Sonny Dykes calling out everybody. Give me TCU with the upset. I think they're going to get their heads kicked in against Georgia, but they're going to cause some freaking problems now. I think Michigan is soft, and they got a soft schedule.
Is anyone not going to get their heads kicked in by Georgia, by the way?
Yeah, no. Maybe like the Bills to the Eagles, maybe.
I'm going to go with Michigan on this one. I do like Max Duggan a lot, and my perfect scenario would be for the Jets to sign a veteran and then draft Max Duggan and let him sit behind that guy. But right now, Michigan, I think they're just a more talented team right now, and I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up with them. So I'm going to take Michigan with this one.
I'm going to take Michigan as well. The only hope is if that receiving core led by Quentin Johnson can go off, but Michigan did a decent job with the Marvin Harrison Jr. on Ohio State receiving core, which is on par with it. So I'm going to take. I think Michigan's defense will do enough, and JJ McCarthy will be able to also give me Michigan, but I think it'll be a close within that 7-point spread. I don't think it'll win.
Nice.
Michigan as well. No analysis. You know me with college football, no analysis. There's never a rhyme and reason with my picks. So.
Kelsey with some. I didn't even see this. This must have. What, this happened yesterday or a couple days ago? I know Miles Murphy opted out.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about the D tackles. Okay.
This is why the bowl season kind of sucks. Is
Tennessee
because all these players opt out.
Tennessee kind of has a decent run game. I mean, listen, they got some hogs up front. See what happens. All right, everyone pick.
All these draft eligible players we get to see one more time. We don't get to see because they opt out, which makes sense. I understand it, but I hate it so much.
Well, according to Todd McShay, our player on our next matchup was healthy enough to play, but honestly, they're going to get their heads kicked in, so why put them in? That would be Jackson Smith and Jigma, and also F. Todd McShay. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ohio State born on third bases versus Georgia and the Georgian Asgardians. These guys are monsters. That entire defensive line scares me. And Ohio State basically has been the darling of the Big Ten for the past 10 years. They get away with murder. And they're going to get murdered. If Georgia loses this game, I will probably shave my head into a mohawk.
I'm cheering for OSU now.
Ohio State. I'll at least go with the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson goatee. That's the first one. Okay? That's the bare minimum. I will shave the sides of my beard off and go with the full squirrel Kevin Youkilis Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson goatee. I'll go with it.
Kevin Youkilis is one of my all-time favorite Red Sox players. Sidebar. Never mind.
Dude, Uke stance always gave me like a brain aneurysm watching him swing. Who else is picking?
All right, well, this is my monumental upset of the week. I'm going Ohio State over Georgia. Georgia's defense ranks 41st nationally in pressure rate. They don't have the greatest passing attack in the country, and I think Ohio State can capitalize on this. I mean, their key to victory, in my opinion, is for Ohio State is for Stroud not to fold under pressure and don't lose track of the game plan if and when Georgia pressures him. As long as he stays on the game, he does not psych himself out, I think Ohio State can win this game. And Stetson Bennett can go into the draft at like 26-year-old Brandon Weeden 2.0.
There. Matt, I know we don't have our draft show for another 3 months, and hopefully we'll bring DJ on for that one, and maybe I can see if we can wrangle Jay Crane in for that one. Who do you think's better quarterback right now out of this? Well, who's the best quarterback in this playoff, guys? Go.
In the
best
playoff?
pro prospect out of this playoff.
It's CJ Stroud in the playoff.
Yeah, I think CJ too. I think Duggan could have a great career. Well, actually, I realized how shitty of a question it is because the only one who's going to be drafted in the first round is CJ Stroud.
Well, I think Duggan can be one of those guys that goes like mid, third, fourth round kind of guy, but then
he could be white Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I really think he's going to be like a special NFL career, but I think Stroud right now is most talented.
Yeah, I think Stetson Bennett is already prepping for his job at Barstool Sports, and Fox Sports, or freaking he's an actual mailman at the USPS. And then you have Jake McCarthy, who I swear to God, or JJ McCarthy, who I swear to God, this dude on DJ. I know you're a film guy like me. Have you seen some of the decisions this dude has made with like a clean pocket? It gives me I literally tense up watching him throw the ball.
He's a college Taysom Hill, basically, what it feels like. Like not the quarterback, an athlete that happens to be able to throw the ball. Like in the ways that people used to try and insult Michael Vick, this is actually what it looks like when you have just an athlete plus quarterback. It's painful, runs away from clean pockets, throws bad coverage. He's left to Michigan, and that they can get away with it, but he's zero pro prospect from what I see. He's like Patrick and postmaster.
I thought of this guy. Well, I got to watch him on tape. I watched the Purdue film. By the way, Michigan should have ran them out of the fucking building in the first quarter. Like, the fact that they entertained them for an entire half was a little disturbing to me. And everyone's like, oh, TCU plays in the Big 12. Jerry always called it a passing league. It's like, yeah, well, they're the nastiest team in that passing league. Like, TCU plays games mean. They took Texas. They kicked Texas' head in. And that same Texas team played Alabama to the gun. Like, it's not like they're, like, beating bad teams. They only lost because their quarterback was having heart issues and their OC had chickened down the goal line. Anybody even thinking about taking Ohio State here? Nobody? We're good?
I'm going Ohio State. I think
that was my upset.
This is your upset?
You missed that whole. You just went on like a whole
I went on a whole stat tangent.
Jesus Christ! I need a fucking vacation.
Ohio State by 2.
I'll double down on it. I think Ohio State pulls it off as well, too. Ohio State's defensive weakness is getting beat over the top, but their run defense is actually pretty good as well, too. In Georgia, nobody's really beating you over the top this year. So
okay, that's all coming back to me now. My short-term memory is going away. Holy shit, man! I'm sorry.
I
reacted to your upset too, and I'm like,
it's the mix of the banquet and the vodka in the water.
No, there's no vodka in that. I wish. Matt, the last time I think I had vodka was with you and Pat. I'm not even kidding.
Probably same.
Yeah. I'm a bourbon and beer guy. All right, moving on after that embarrassment. All right. Speaking of embarrassments, let's talk about Caleb Williams and his fingernails. Tulane and USC. I was told by DJ's roommate that this actually is going to be a good ball game. I want to believe that. I really do. But USC's got 5 stars. Tulane's got 3 stars. The body difference is just different. This ain't like the 2000s where like Ed Reeves a 2-star recruit. Like we gotta be real about this. They got bodies at USC.
I don't know who else playing. Like I don't know who's opting out as well. Everybody for USC plays, yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if a handful of players decide not to play.
All right, you know what, DJ, for you, I'll look this up. Duck, go!
I was just looking it up for you since I don't have takes on these. I'll do that for you while you talk about it.
All right. Well, listen, Caleb Williams is one of the best quarterbacks in this country. He's a damn Heisman winner. Do I think he deserves to win the Heisman? Oh, no, obviously not. But I think Max Duggan should have gotten it. Whatever the fuck you pronounce his name. The dude with the hard problems who plays quarterback.
So it actually looks like not a lot of players are holding out. Or it looks like
as of December 13th,
yeah, no, Kelsey's actually right. Kelsey, I switched up to one of the best winter beers of the year.
Kelsey, it's a wee heavy beer.
I tried to find it. They sold out of it.
It's not an Ichiban.
Ichiban's good though.
I like USC in this one. I know Caleb Williams is a little banged up, but I think USC gets the job done. I'll take the spread and everything like that, but I think they're going to fall to the Heisman quarterback. So give me USC.
Better quarterback wins the game. I honestly.
Better quarterback, better pizza.
Papa John's. Only slight racism, Papa John's. Yeah, no, I got to go with USC. Like, listen, you can't ignore the fact that Heisman winner. As much as Caleb, listen, this isn't Utah, okay? Utah is built to beat Pac-12 teams, but they can't beat Big Ten teams. And it's a little foreshadowing for our next game. I look at this game, and I literally see just Caleb Williams slinging the rock. Tulane's defense has been Listen, they beat UCF. Congratulations. Wow, my thumb bend weird. I don't see if Tulane wins this, man. I will bring Caesar on the show as he's gonna harass him at the damn Cowboys versus Eagles for 30 minutes. But yeah, I got USC. Duckman, done enough research?
Yeah, USC. There's not enough guys sitting for USC, so I'm with you on that, Jared. That USC has this.
Fair enough. All right, moving on to our last game of the 8-pack. Gary Sandusky, you versus the Mormons.
And before you guys make your picks, I can give you your opt-outs. Utah has Tavion Thomas, Dalton Kincaid, and Clark Phillips opting out of this game.
No, not Clark Phillips.
The whitest name ever.
And Penn State only has Joey Porter.
By the way, Joey Porter's kid is just disgusting, by the way.
He's good. I think he's gonna be a first-round pick or an early second round pick.
Oh my god, he's the Asante Samuel Jr. of this draft. Like, he's going to be a great player. He may not be like a Sauce Gardner Surtain, but he's gonna be a hell of a corner.
It's gonna be in Tariq Woolen almost as well too, where just that big length body and just people underestimate how good he can move too.
Or like a Bradbury back in the day, where like it's just everyone like just underestimates how nasty this dude actually is. Listen, as much as I just shit on the Pac-12 teams, Utah, they didn't lose their quarterback, right? That was it. He knocked out. Nope. Yeah, they're good. Penn State to me has a knack for choking when the bright lights are on, and nothing seems like going into Utah's back here. Like, listen, Utah to Pasadena is about 5.5, 6 hours. I think so. It's a lot. It's a lot quicker. That's driving. Flying is about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Penn State's got to go across the country. And also, just like Sean Clifford's been there for 3,000 years, and he still hasn't impressed me yet. Give me Utah on that defense. They're gonna put Pac-12. All right, Pac-12 can still play ball. So.
Yeah, I'm also taking Utah. They, Cam Rising knocked off USC in the Pac-12 championship, and I think they keep that momentum going. So give me Utah.
DJ, that's why I love your roommate. Me and him are on the same fucking wavelength, even before I say it.
I was saying, I'm just going to piggyback off that as well, too. All things, even if it comes down just for backfield, technically Cam Rising over Sean Clifford. Clifford's the weird anomaly. He's been around forever, but he's gotten worse here as well, too. Normally, when guys stick around a while, you see like that little progression, almost like Betson. But Clifford's kind of gotten worse from a couple of years ago when there was talks about potentially draft. He's gone down since then.
All right. Quick review before Duck goes. Matt, you took Utah, right?
Yep.
I'm having short-term memory issues the last couple of days. I think I hit my head too hard. Utah for Duck, man. We're going clean sweep for Utah. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the six-pack. It's time for the other segment picking game. Ladies and gentlemen, this next segment is brought to you by the amazing people at Canadips.com. Promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. Listen, this is the caffeine one. It's the mocha. I love this flavor. Packed 2 of these in my lip when I had to go to on Christmas Day. I was running 4 hours of sleep. It was perfect. Listen, this stuff is just great stuff. They have caffeine-infused ones, CBD-infused. They have hundreds of flavors. I keep saying hundreds. It's like they have about 50 flavors. Still, they're pretty good. Blue raspberry, Arnold Palmer, mango, papaya, which, by the way, I just had a couple of lips that day. Oh, by the way, they're Copenhagen. If you're a Copenhagen fan like me, their mint and spearmint just tastes like Cope. It's beautiful. Also, the citrus one tastes like Starburst if you're into that thing. I did get a tin of that because it actually tastes pretty good. The Arnold Palmer just tastes like you're drinking Arnie without actually having to buy the can or expelling the calories when you're trying to cut. It's perfect. Listen, this company's so good. 3 to 4 day shipping from California to the East Coast where I live. On top of that, they effed up my order two orders back. They sent me my entire order again in full, free of charge. Just asked where to deliver it. That's how good Canada Dips is. So promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. Official sponsor Belly Up Sports, the Belly Up Media Network, and the Corner Booth Podcast. All right, bonus cans. I would love to throw this one up to Eagles and Saints. This line keeps dropping faster than the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl chances. I don't know what Vegas sees in this game. Maybe they're trying to bait people into betting on the Saints here. Hurts is practicing. There is a very realistic chance he's playing. No CJ Gardner-Johnson, no Avonte Maddox, no Lane Johnson. It's okay. I still think Reed Blankenship can pick off Andy Dalton. I think we're okay. That is one of my. Listen, you want an easy cover? I think the Eagles will cover against these Saints.
What is the spread now?
5.5.
Yeah, they should be able to cover that, I would think.
Matt,
I'm assuming it's just dropping because everyone's thinking, like you guys were saying earlier, and that they're just going to run the ball the whole game, and it's just going to be a quick one.
Well, listen, you throw a quick slant to AJ Brown, he still might house a damn thing.
Fair enough.
I've got a couple bargain games for you. For anybody like myself that likes a little bang for the buck, I'm looking at the Bears-Lions game. You got an in-division matchup. You got the Lions fighting for a wild card spot right now. They're still in it and everything. This is a game that I can easily see Jared Goff putting up 40-something points on the Bears, but also on the other end having Justin Fields run for 150 yards and like 3 touchdowns. I think this could be an exciting, meaningless game. So I'm looking at that game. Basically. Yeah, I'm looking at that game. And then I'm also, what was the other one I was just thinking? Oh, I'm looking, so hear me out. I'm looking at Broncos Chiefs. They just fired Nathaniel Hackett. Usually when a team fires a coach, they go all out and they start chucking it up and it's just a free-for-all. So I think this could be a surprising game. I know their last matchup, they actually was a 6-point game. But I'm looking at those 2 games. I think the Broncos could come out and fight without Nathaniel Hackett at the coaching spot. And I think the Lions and the Bears could be a pretty fun game.
So would you take the over 45 in that right now, Matt?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
For that game? I would say if you believe in that game script, that seems like an easy over.
The last matchup, it was a 34-28 game, so I'll definitely take that over that.
If you need an easy layup for a guy to cover, take the Ravens over the Steelers. I don't care if Tyler Huntley, Anthony Brown, or Lamar Jackson plays. Any of their mobile quarterbacks will play, and they'll still beat the Steelers. The Raiders quit on Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels already. Don't take that Christmas Day game as anything more than chump change. Give me the Ravens beating the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin locks up his first losing season.
That point total is sitting at only 35 right now.
Give me the over. I have a weird feeling. I have a weird feeling that the freaking Ravens are going to put up some serious points.
Wouldn't shock me either.
Oh, by the way, you want another easy over to cover?
Of course.
I mean, another easy line spread the beat. Raiders losing to the 49ers. Jarrett Stidham will at least throw 3 interceptions. He is absolutely terrible as a quarterback.
He really is. As someone who watched him here, and I think in like his 4 like total NFL passes that he had here in the Patriots, I think like 2 of them were interceptions. So yeah.
That game, those because the Raiders can hold up their end of the deal. Over under 42, but give me the under just because it's going to be 30. That's not an indictment on the Niners.
Iowa, Kentucky's another close one. I kind of like. I like Will Levis getting one more shot to kind of get a little more bowl. Is he opting out or is he playing?
I think he opted out as well. I could be wrong.
I know he declared for the draft.
I forgot of Levis. I knew there was something. Either he declared or he opted out. DJ. Oh wait, where's Kelsey with the info? Russell Wilson.
I closed my screen with the opt-out. Sorry.
All right, it actually looks like he won't be playing in the game. It looks like.
Shit. Yeah, give me Iowa in bet the under in this game.
Oh.
Yeah, bet like it's going to be 12-13 the final score. Another one I actually kind of like, Mississippi State and Illinois. 2 teams that were low-key kind of fun to watch this year. And also Mississippi State playing for the late, great Mike Leach. I think that will be a very, emotional. Illinois either is going to put up a fight or get their head kicked in.
Yeah,
and LSU. Good. Also, give me LSU by over 14.5. I think Brian Kelly, America's least favorite stepdad, will literally run Purdue back up to Indiana. That's all I got for bonus games. Y'all got anything else?
No, I'm looking
I
at
think
some of
the Rams could cover
now.
6.5 against the Chargers. I think the Rams could cover 6.5 against the Chargers.
With Baker in that offense, honestly, the more and more he plays, dude, it's scary how good he is with an actual. Okay, so they brought up this point, by the way, on I think it was one of McAfee's guys brought this up. I wanted to bring this up as a last call kind of thing. Anybody else think that maybe Stefanski's just a bad OC, a bad play caller? Anybody else just thinking that? Because Deshaun Watson looks like he's got dementia trying to throw the ball down the field, and I'm really sorry, not dementia. I'm sorry. He looks like he's he's brain dead trying to throw the ball down the field. But Baker comes in with McVay, and he's 2-1, puts up 51 points on a damn good defense in Denver. I mean, are we starting to think maybe the Browns' biggest problem isn't anything else but their coach? Maybe McVay should give up play calling.
I think something we've seen. Oh, sorry. Go ahead first, DJ, because mine's going to be a bit of a sidestep.
Oh, no worries. I think Stefanski's a really good offensive play caller. I think he's a rough head coach, almost Josh McDaniels-esque without being a tool bag. So I think if he was just calling plays, it'd be a little bit cleaner. But I think the Browns are just a mess from top to bottom. I think there's a lot more going on there, and that's why it's been a little bit rough.
Fair.
I think this season has shown us that between the Patriots and then that comment there, if you go with that narrative, that offensive coordinators or just coordinator positions in general, I feel are lacking across the league right now because there's been such a rush to just almost skip that to get these younger guys into head coaching positions. And I feel like there's a lack of consistency and kind of respect for the coordinator
McVay,
positions.
Shanahan, or Sirianni. They're trying to get that guy fast.
Exactly. But I think it's called. This is a trickle down effect that's happening with the coordinator positions across the league right now.
Does anybody else think that the Rams' big three could just retire, like McVay, Stafford, and Donald?
No, Stafford said he's coming back.
Okay. I think Stafford. I think he played very injured this year. So I don't really think everything that he did this year is really against like the kind of player that he is. I think maybe next year he comes back completely healthy. It'll be a different game. But every now and then I think we see the Rams, like they're amazing one year. The next year they kind of take a little layoff year, and then the following year they bounce back. Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of teams figuring them out, and then they just got to reset in the offseason and then just come back stronger the next year.
Yeah. I was only saying I think it could be a mistake depending on how his body recovers from these injuries. I'm more so not saying that he doesn't have the talent that he should come back to use, but I'd be more worried about his quality of life after, given the types of injuries he's sustained.
That's true. He missed pretty much most of all of last offseason with that elbow injury, and now you got a spinal cord injury on top of that. Sort of a little bit like, if he can come back healthy, he'll be fine, and I think they'll come back cooking. But you got everything you need now. Don't risk getting decapitated. It's cool. Don't go through the pain, man. After you 7 minutes.
Yeah, you've got the Super Bowl.
Also, here's another thing we didn't talk about. We're talking about free agent quarterbacks before we get out of here. Baker's a free agent after the season. I think so too. I think the Rams should honestly be like, hey, Baker, like, listen, you may not start right away, but here's the other thing though. What if a team like, I think Baker's earned himself a starting job again. I am going to stick to this theory. I think Stefanski cannot be a head coach, like DJ said. I think he's also. I don't think he can handle the responsibility because his play calling suffers. Because you look at Deshaun. Deshaun was a generational talent quarterback pre him sitting out for a few seasons. But Deshaun looks even there like everything. Like the play calling looks terrible. Like if I'm playing the Browns, I can at least manage our, even if we suck on offense, we're still going to win because they can't score points.
I got one guy in mind that will fix all of Cleveland's problems. All they got to do is fire Stefanski and go get Deshaun's guy, Eric Bieniemy. I think that can solve a lot of offensive issues for that team. I think that can help out the run game. I think that can help out Deshaun Watson.
So Bieniemy's finally getting a starting job?
Yeah. I think he's going to get one this year. I think he should. But I think it would be amazing with a combo of him and Watson.
So a buddy of mine actually who is pretty close. His lady's very close with the Chiefs. He's talked to me about this before. He said the reason they're not hiring Bieniemy, he says he stands by this. My theory is that he can't get a job because he's terrible in interviews. He's just a dick to players. His theory is that because of his whole domestic violence shit that happened when he was in college. And teams don't want to have a guy like that being the head coach. I could see both issues. Either way, I just don't think Bieniemy's head coach material. If they bring up Bieniemy as an OC. Also, my other backdoor theory is that Bieniemy is just getting groomed because Reed's going to retire in 2-3 years. I think Big Red wants to go sit on the beach with 14 cheeseburgers, a couple margaritas, some beers, and just kind of like just let the Hawaiian sunset put him to sleep every night.
Yes, I mean, he could be holding out for that. I thought that's why Josh McDaniels left the Colts and went back to the Patriots. I thought because he had some inside thing with Belichick where he was going to leave and he was going to take over. So, I mean, that it is possible, but I mean, if there really is domestic violence issues with Bieniemy and that's why teams aren't hiring him, then wouldn't that just be perfect to pair him with Watson? I mean, you've already got a fucking, sexual predator on that team. You might as well pair him up with a domestic violence.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
Bill Cosby jokes were bad.
You can't say that would be a bad hire for the Browns because of that when they traded and gave the bag to a guy with that history.
Well, I think also can we also just relax and just understand that the football gods are punishing Cleveland for just being scumbags.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy Haslam's getting hit with a full-on right hook from the football gods.
Just like the football gods punished the Cowboys when they had Greg Hardy and the the Raiders when they got Aldon Smith and everything. Same thing.
Honestly,
let's explain why the Commanders have sucked for so long.
Aldon Smith breaks my heart, man, because that dude was the most freak athlete edge rusher I've ever seen in my life, and that dude just could not keep his head back on football.
Yeah. And the football gods love to punish the Jets when they had a They had
what did Woody Johnson do to earn this much bad press?
Well, he's a terrible owner because he took him 20-something years just to hire the correct general manager, in my opinion. Then there was racial allegations against him that didn't look pretty good. But I was going to say we got Plaxico Burress, and they just gifted us with a bunch of offensive pass interferences and fumbles. because he just could not learn to just not push off defenders. Mm-hmm. So there was that.
He also couldn't learn to push on the safety.
Yeah, that too.
Jesus. All right. Well, if don't got anything else, I'm gonna let you head out. So far 0-0 right now for
it's a very boring game.
Very boring game. This is gonna be shocker. I will probably put Call of Duty on one screen or Witcher 3. By the way, Witcher 3 update is phenomenal. If you have not downloaded it, if you have not played the game yet, this is the perfect time to do it. One of the best open world games of all time. And they basically gave it a nice facelift with a bunch of free content. Also, I shameless plug right there.
Where can you buy it?
I bought it like 2 years ago. I play it sparingly because it's such a big game.
No, I mean like what platform, like Steam or like?
Oh, I play it on Xbox One.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I would love to get like a game PC. I just don't have the time or the patience.
That's all I have now. So, but anyways,
all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time. As I get a freaking nasty foot cramp just now.
Nice.
Next Brian has entered the chat.
Oh yeah, right. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you stopping by, cracking a beer with us, and we will see you on Monday. Mason will be out, of course, so just me and Matt breaking down everything that happened over the New Year's weekend. Shout out to DJ. DJ, where can we find your amazing content?
You can find us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We go live on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere else you want to find us. You can find us at High Low Sports on all social media platforms. You can catch us on all your favorite app listening things from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everything you need as well too gets uploaded afterwards as well too. So Wednesday, 8 o'clock, come hang out with us, come chill out. We did a very similar thing on our most recent episode where we look back at 2022 and talk about our favorite sports moments. Go check that one out as well too. And honestly, I basically have my own little section in the booth right now as well too. So you can catch me at least every other Thursday at this point.
Yeah, DJ and Kelsey at least stop by at least once every other 3 weeks. And one of our other recurring guests, Duckman, where can we find your amazing content?
Divots and Pivots every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. The golf show, we actually just had a pivot episode. What's today? Thursday. So on Tuesday this past week, go check it out. It's pinned to the Divots and Pivots Twitter account right now or on the YouTube page. Scott Simpson, Nimble with Numbers on Twitter is where you can find him, joined us, and it was a fantastic episode, great interview. So go check that out. Every Tuesday, 8 o'clock, YouTube, Divots and Pivots.
Matt, where can they find our amazing shit?
You can find our amazing shit at the Corner Booth Pod on Instagram and Twitter, the Corner Booth on TikTok and YouTube, and you can also find us on YouTube for when we go live every Thursday from 7 to 8:30 Eastern Time.
Also, shout out to our amazing sponsors, Candidates and Yeats, and of course, Belly Up Media and Belly Up Sports for being the best home base for all of our shows and content. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. For myself, Matt, Andrew, and DJ, we hope you have a great weekend. Happy New Year to all you celebrating. Of course, hopefully all you have a great New Year's Eve. Please do not drink and drive. Cops are ruthless on New Year's Eve. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy this amazing weekend of football we have on tap. And, see you Monday. Deuces.
Peace.